Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone. I hope you all are fine. I am your science teacher and today this is our Zoom online lecture 1. Today I am going to start our next chapter. Chapter number 9, that is about the physical and chemical changes. Now we have discussed in the previous classes about the matter. We all know that matter is anything that has a proper mass and that occupies some space. So, the changes that take place in the matter, these changes occur in two forms. The first is the physical change and the second is the chemical change. Now in this chapter, I am going to discuss about the changes that take place in the matter. Physical change. Physical change is the type of change that affect the physical properties of a substance in which the form of matter is changed but substance is not transformed into another form. So this type of change only affects the physical properties of a substance. The physical properties may include the size, shape, color and state of a substance. So, when there is a change in the size, shape, color and state of a substance, but in this case there is no formation of a new substance, there is only change in the appearance of an object. So, this type of change is known as the physical change. Physical change only affect the physical properties of a substance or object. Now, here are some of the few examples of the physical change. As we have already discussed that physical change is the change in the appearance of an object. So, here are some of the examples of the physical change. First is the melting of an ice cube. As we already know that ice cube is basically form of water. Now, when we provide the heat to the ice cube, this ice cube melts into the water liquid state. So in both the cases, the substance is water, but their state is changed. Their appearance is changed. So this is the physical change. The second example is a breaking of a glass. We all know about the glass. So when we break the glass convert into the pieces. In both the cases, the material remains the same. There is no formation of a new substance. In both cases, the material remains the same. There is only change in the appearance of an object. In first case, there is a proper glass, but in the second case, the glass convert into a small pieces. The third example is the chopping of a wood. When we take a piece of wood, and when we chop it, it convert into a pieces. So, in both the cases, the material remains the same. There is no formation of a new substance, but there is a change in their appearance. So, this is the physical change. The second major change is the chemical change. Chemical change also occurs in the forms of matter. In chemical change, what happens? When a substance combines with another substance, and it results in the formation of some new substance. This is called the chemical change. Chemical change results in the formation of new substances. For example, burning of wood is an example of a chemical change. When we burn the wood, it left behind the ash. The wood transforms into an ash. Ash is a different form as compared to wood. So, in this case, there is a formation of a new substance. So, this is the chemical change. Some of the few examples are rusting of iron. Rusting of iron is also an example of chemical change. The iron reacts with the oxygen present in the atmosphere. So, it results in the formation of iron ferric oxide. So, this is the rusting of iron and this is also the example of chemical change. All the physical and chemical changes takes place in matter. Now, the matter is any substance that has some mass and that occupies some space. So, every matter we have already discussed in the previous chapter, all the matter is made up of the tiny particles. Matter is everything that is surround us. So, all the matter is made up of the tiny particles. Particles rearrange themselves and it comes in three different forms. Number first is the solid, number second is the liquid, and number third is the gas. Now you can see on the screen there are three states of matter. The first state is the liquid, the second state is the solid, and the third state is the gas. But how these forms are matter is different. How the solid, liquid, and gas is different. Our question is this. The answer is this, that it depends upon the arrangement of atoms and many other factors. Now you can see there are different states of matter. The first is the solid, the second is the liquid, and third is the gas. These all are the forms of water. In first case, the water is in the form of ice cube. In the second state, the water is in the form of liquid. And in the third state, the water is in the form of water vapors. So on the basis of different properties, the solid, liquid, and gas is different. Shape, volume, rigidity, density, fluid, forces between the atoms, energy between the atoms, and the ability to squashed or compressed. These are some of the properties that differ the liquid from the solid and solid from the gas. Now, the first state is the solid. Solid is a form of matter in which the particles are packed close together. They are tightly held together. Some of the properties of solid are as follow. You can see the structure of a solid. You can see the molecules or the atoms are tightly packed together. There is no such space present between the atoms. They have a proper mass, they have a proper shape, they have a proper density, they have a proper volume. As well as the forces between the particles are very much strong. They have a high density, they have a high mass and volume. And we cannot compress the solid or we cannot squash the solid because it is hard, it is rigid, it is not flexible. And when we provide the heat to the solid, it expands slightly and they do not flow. They do not have the ability to flow. Some of the examples of solid in our daily life is ice, cheese, bricks, wood, watch, diamond, glass. Now the second state is the liquid. Liquid is also the form of matter in which the particles, atoms are loosely held together. You can see on the screen there is a liquid state and you can see the atoms are loosely held together. There is no such force of attractions present between the liquid, a very weak force of attraction present as compared to the solid. Some of the properties of solid liquid that differ the liquid from the solid, they do not have a definite shape, they have a definite volume, it matches the shape of the container they are in. The particles are close together, but not as much as compared to the solid. The forces between the particles are quite strong, but the forces are weak as compared to the solid and they have a medium density. We cannot compress easily or we cannot squash easily. When we provide heat, it expands quite a lot as compared to the solid and they have the ability to flow. In solid case, the solid cannot flow, but the liquid has the ability to flow. Some of the examples of liquid in our daily life: juice, water, oil, milk, soft drinks, vinegar. These are the examples of liquids in our daily life. Now, the third most important state of matter is the gas. Gas is a form of matter in which the particles are very much far apart. They are very much far away from each other. You can see on the screen the particles are very much far away. There is no such force of attraction as we can see in the solid and the liquid case. The particles are far away from each other. So, some of the properties of the gas that differ the gas from the solid and liquid is they do not have a definite volume. They become the same shape as container they are in. The particles are very much far apart. The forces are very weak as compared to the solid and liquid. They have a low density, and the ability is that we can easily compress or we can easily squash. For example, in case of balloon, we can easily compress the balloon. We can easily squash the balloon because of the air molecules present inside the balloon. So we can easily compress the gas. It expands greatly when heated. They have the ability to diffuse easily and flow easily. Some of the example of gases are steam, smoke, oxygen, carbon dioxide, tear gas, helium. Now you can see the clear differences between the solid, liquid and gas. Solid, you can see the shape of the solid is fixed, rigid, and they have a fixed volume and it cannot be squashed. The shape of the liquid is not rigid. They do not have a fixed shape. They have a fixed volume and it cannot be squashed just like the solid. But we can squash slightly. In case of gas, the shape is rigid, no fixed shape, no fixed volume, and it can be squashed. Now you can see the different states. You can see in the case of solid, the particles are tightly packed together. In case of liquid, the particles are loosely held together, but in case of gas, the particles are very much far away. Now you can see the difference in energy. The solid particles have the least energy. The liquids have the quiet energy as compared to the solid, and the particles in the gas have more energy. The forces between the solid are very much strong. The forces between the liquid are quite strong, and there is no such force of attraction between the gas particles. Now, solid, liquid, and gas, the clear example is also present in our surrounding. You can see the wood, tree, and the sand is the solid, and you can see the water, it is a liquid, and you can see the clouds, these are the gas, these are in the gaseous form, and the sun is basically the thermal energy, and kinetic energy, the boat moves as a result of kinetic energy. Now there are other differences between the solid, liquid and gas. The shape of the solid is fixed, the atoms arranged orderly and they are closely packed. The shape of the liquid is disorderly. The arrangement of the particle is disorderly in case of liquid and they are less closely packed in a solid. In gaseous state, the arrangement of particle is disorderly and the particles are very much far apart. The attractive forces in the solid is very strong, the kinetic energy is very low, and the motion is the case of solid that it can vibrate and rotate about a fixed position. In case of liquid, the forces between the particles are strong, the energy is low, and the molecules slide over each other. In case of the gas, the particles move at great speed, the energy is high, and the attractive forces between the particles are very much weak. Now there is also the transformation of the state of matter. The change of a state is a physical change in which a substance changes from a solid to a liquid or a liquid to a gas or back again. It consists of two major processes, melting, boiling. So when a solid is heated, its particles gain energy and they vibrate more. This weakens the forces which hold the solid together. At a certain temperature, the particles have enough energy to break free from each other. This is called the melting, and the solid turns into a liquid. Now you can see the solid state converts into a liquid state and the liquid state converts into a gas state. So this results due to the melting and the boiling point. The second process is the boiling. When a liquid is heated, the particles get even more energy and move faster, and bonds between them weaken and break. At a certain temperature, the particles have enough energy to break their bonds. This is called the boiling, and the liquid turns into a gas. This is an example of the physical change. Now you can see on the screen the melting and boiling of water. The solid converts into a liquid and the liquid converts into a gas. Thank you so much.